Hello and welcome to today's video. This time we're once again at the Bath and West Showground for the Shepton Mallet Toy and Train Fair, 9th of March 2025. So sit back, relax, and let's get to it. Okay then, so I started off with my friend Dave, who we saw waving at the start there. We came up, the two of us, on a very pleasant drive. It was great weather this particular Sunday, and about time. Spring is finally here. And we thought we'd start upstairs this time rather than downstairs. So that's where we headed. And I was glad I did. I found a few bits and pieces upstairs, which was really good. You never quite know what you're going to find, but Shepton, out of all the fairs that I go to, is often the best attended. And there's the most dealers there, with the widest choice of stuff, which is what ultimately you need. There we are, nice Campbellwood green set there. And there was the usual mix of stuff. That's quite a nice early Give a Show projector there. Watch with Mother. Many characters included in that one. An array of choppers. Look at that, 4 different 70s choppers there. Very, very nice indeed. Lovely to see those. And the customary few stalls filled with Hot Wheels that there always seems to be at these shows. And fantastic if you're a collector, because they don't seem to be that expensive. So I think you get a lot for your money, which is always, I think, a great part of collecting. Now here's Retro Revival. They've recently opened a shop, I believe, in Paint and Torquay Way. And you can find them on Facebook under Retro Revival X. If you see anything here, you can drop them a message. I'm sure they do mail order as well. And once again, a very nicely presented, high quality retro store with stuff in tip-top shape, which for retro is what you need. You want it to be as new as possible. I am hoping to get down there in the next month or so, and I'd like to go down and actually film their new stores. So look out for that, and I'll have a look at obviously a few other interesting shops in the area, any other interesting bookshops and things like that. This is still upstairs here, and yeah, I saw that store last time with the top trumps. This isn't actually that long since the last Exeter show or the last Shepton show, but it is going to be the last Shepton show that I get to for a little while. Yeah, this is one that's on my wants list, and it was just a touch under condition-wise. The box lid was beautiful, but the actual tray and the polystyrene insert was a little bit worn for me, but it was very, very close. That particular Chipperfield set was $275. But it's drop dead gorgeous, and that was the first of the 2 issues that got released for that particular one, but it is definitely one I'd love to get. Very, very nice. A huge Stranger Things set, Lego there. Very cool. Once again, a nice little batch of stuff. I think the traders who do end up upstairs have got a bit more room to spread out, so they really can spread all their stuff out. I am myself thinking of taking a stall at Shepton. It'll probably be a double stall, and I might actually request to go upstairs, just because there's a bit more room to spread all your gear out. I have got quite a bit still to move on, so we shall see. This is the stall, the only stall really with a decent selection of vintage Star Wars. Some nice stuff there. Always take a look at the model kits and toy soldiers and stuff. Now they were quite nice. So these are 1971. 2 the same, the carrying cases, and there's the actual die-cast Matchbox cards that came in them. As you can see, they're in terrific shape, but sadly no boxes. And I have sort of decided not to pick up any loose ones anymore and just stick to mint box. But the carrying cases were nice. And this dealer was doing brisk business because he was not expensive. This is along sort of another edge now. As you can see, plenty of room upstairs to really spread out, which is quite good if you've got lots of big stuff in that. You can get it all out on display well. A few first day covers there. Another store which had some nice 80s and 90s stuff and some retro handhelds. Nice run of Mask toys there. Some Viz down the bottom. A few nice handhelds. The Pac-Land one was particularly nice in Amco as well. Yeah, used to love collecting that sort of stuff, but you can't collect it all. This is another very well presented stall, I thought. Well presented, everything clearly priced. That's all you can ask for. Yeah, nicely presented. And we are downstairs now. And myself and my friend Dave, we went in with the early birders. We got there at about 9 o'clock. We had a coffee before we went in, and then dived straight into it. And we were out by about 11, so a couple of hours to get around it. And that was a lot of it while people were setting up. So we didn't hang around. I did try and focus on the Doctor Who stuff, because a few people have said not a lot of Doctor Who at these shows, and they are right. There isn't loads and loads of it, and very little vintage. You do see the odd Dennis Fisher item, the odd talking Dalek, but that's really about it. You hardly ever see any 60s stuff. Sadly, a little bit of the footage I took today didn't come out properly, so I've had to drop a few bits. I haven't included it, obviously, because it's not up to scratch. But there's still plenty to see. And of course, you'll see what I ended up picking up at the end of this video. A few people have been asking about my friend Andy. Andy's still a little bit under the weather, but he's hoping to get to the next toy fair with us. So fingers crossed, Andy will be back to A1 within the next couple of weeks. Lots of people were asking about you, Andy, so if you're watching, which I'm sure you will be, hopefully you're on the mend and you'll be with us soon here in the studio doing the audio commentary. It's always a nice stall. They always have really nice high quality items. I've had a bit of a week for diecast. I actually had some bits off my friend Callum, which I will show you actually at the end. But I've been really blessed with quite a bit come my way this week, which is really unusual. It seems to go like that in fits and starts. Another very, very big Hot Wheels table, or many tables there. Some really nice ones there, I think. The franchise ones, I think, are the expensive ones nowadays. Didn't see a lot in the way of vintage trains at this particular show. I mean, it was there, but I wouldn't say there was loads and loads of it. But it was certainly there. And a little tail end of Subutio. Really like this stuff. I'd love to collect it if I had the room. I really like Subutio. I even love playing it back in the day. But yeah, it takes up a lot of room, that room I just don't have. But nice to see anyway. Now, I always forget this chap's name. He's there with his son, and he had some really nice stuff. A beautiful UFO interceptor And some really nice, as we'll see in a minute, some nice Battlestar Galactica carded figures, which he actually got out for me. They're 150 each. And I didn't think that was bad. That I don't know the price of these off the top of my head, but they were pretty nice. He even had the, as you'll see in a minute, the Cylon Warrior, which I believe is the hard one to get. The Cylon Centurion, there we are. Very, very nice. Yeah, so 150 each on those. Really nice. Look at that UFO there. Look at that. He did want 475 for it, but he says, find another one like it. Well, if you're going to have it, that's the way to have them. And that did look, I got to say, particularly lovely. And look at these. It's some Mego boxed Wizard of Oz. I know they're the more common ones, but even so, they're really, really nice, beautiful mint condition. Wicked, very, very popular. So Oz is popular at the moment. Nice little mix of die casts there. And, because I was in early, people were still setting up, except this young chap. This is Alan Hall's stall. Always an eye-opener, always got high-quality stuff and loads of it as well. And this show was no exception. Some great stuff. Some stuff, I've only spotted it now that I'm going back over the video and having another look, because you're almost overwhelmed with it all, But yeah, some very nice stuff. And always a very good representation of Matchbox and Action Man. And some of the more modern figures. There's some loose Matchbox. All very high quality, rare, beautiful, mint models. Sadly without the boxes, but still very nice. Yeah, real mixture of stuff there. A couple of big Matchbox play sets over there as well. I don't see those very often. Yeah, I did spend a bit of time chatting with Alan as well this time round, because we were in nice and early. He was already set up. Talking about the old days, talking about Jim Stevenson. Anybody remember him? And yeah, a few stalls with Lego on. This was everything looking to clear. Job lot deals, everything must go. So I don't know how we got on there, but probably did all right. This stall had some very interesting Dinky aircraft. I had a look at a couple of them. They're really nice, really interesting. Dinky certainly seems to be cheaper to collect, generally speaking, than Corgi from the same period. And I think, it is plentiful. There's still plenty of it at the shows. I'm not quite sure why Dinky isn't quite as hot, it seemingly, as Corgi. Because it did some great die casts. This is Save with Dave. Here's some good price stuff. Lots of really nice railway items, locomotives. Everything clearly priced, ready for a deal, cash only. That's the place to go. But yeah, so these are one of those shows that you sort of have to go around a few times really to see it all. It is sort of the only way. And as I said, I try and zoom around fairly early whilst they're setting up, but sometimes it does mean I miss the odd thing or two. But, it's okay. You're seeing the best of it, believe me. Definitely try and concentrate on the stalls with sort of the older toys and steer clear of the really modern stuff. Nice little loose mini moke from the prisoner I saw there. I'm not sure how much was on that one. One thing you'll notice is some stalls are excellent. Everything is priced and clearly labelled. Other stalls, it's a guessing game. You have to pick the toy up. It can be wrapped around a wheel or something like that. But that's just the nature of the beast. Sometimes dealers get new stock in. They haven't had a chance to price it, but they want to bring it along to the show, and then they can always look it up on the day. I don't, chastise people for not having stuff priced. Here we've got an example of this Britain stuff. Everything that I can see there is priced up, got little stickers on, so you know exactly at a glance what it is. I'm sure that helps sell the stuff. It really must do. I certainly wouldn't dream of turning up at a show myself with everything unpriced. I just wouldn't, do it. You'd be forever asking, telling people how much. Oh, that's that. If you can even remember it all. Doesn't take long to put a sticker on, does it? Or a little tag with a price on. Lots of military on that particular stall. Loose and some of it boxed. Those look really interesting. Those ones are quite old as well, I think. Another very interesting stall. He always has interesting stuff. This chap, real vintage, like 1910s, 1920s upwards. Lots of lead figures, lead soldiers. Lots of Britons there. Yeah, some really, really nice stuff. And a very knowledgeable dealer as well. I got chatting to this chap, and he was really, he knew his stuff. Yeah, all good stuff. And this chap has always got a really great selection of Airfix kits. Predominantly, he's got other ones as well, like the Matchbox here. And also he's got all the original paints as well, which is cool. It really is like recreating your days of youth. I can remember having a little box just like that with a mixture of paints in and brushes and glue. But I was never that great at building model airplanes. I used to enjoy doing it, but I wasn't very good at it. These books just 50p a book. Nothing for me, sadly, but dirt cheap. Dirt cheap. I'd say there was lots of bargains at this show. There always is. There always is. And dealers open to making offers. You can't knock that. It's a nice TV toys, TV and film. Busy stall that, lots of stuff on it. And they always have loads of interesting stuff. And I don't think it's overpriced. It's priced to sell, move it on. And I think that's the key nowadays. What's the point of taking the same stuff to the same shows, show after show after show? Get it priced competitively and get it out the door. That's what I say. And that's always my mantra when selling stuff. I don't want to be an exhibitor. I want to be a seller. There he is, yeah, Brian Long. He said hello. Often got some good stuff on his stall. This is just inside the door, actually, as you come in, sort of along the back wall. Yeah, this is Julian from Final Frontiers store. He's from Plymouth. Once again, packed and full of stuff. This store was full of bargains, I thought. And yeah, very reasonably priced. That one's 75 for that Thunderbirds Bagatelle. That's all best offer. I think, it was really nice condition. I know it does turn up, that one, now and again. But yeah, always a good store, this. I was having a close look at that, the Grange Hill box set, 4 books, in a little slipcase, which I do like the slipcase sets. I really do, because generally the books inside they're generally mint and unread. Just seems to be the way with slipcase sets. It's getting lots of bargains on this store. If you bring your kids along, and your kids are like into toy cars and that, they can do so well. Really, they get so much here, like a pound a car. It's just incredible. So much stuff. Bumped into a few people I'd not met before, so thank you for anyone who came by and said hello. I bumped into Dave from Toy Polloi as well. He was out and about looking for more toys to restore. Some interesting stuff on this stall as well. Yeah, the computer car. I think that originally came in a bit of a bigger box, but yeah, another classic toy. And some actual little steam engines there. Yeah, never seen that Dinky way before, but this is Jordan's Vintage Toys. Another excellent store. He's always got consistently good stuff. He sells online as well. And he has a habit of sniffing out these great collections. Jordan's from Wales, and he's got a really good channel himself on YouTube, which I shall do my best to link to in the description down below. But yeah, I'd spent some time. I was really hoping to find today a Commer van, and I found a couple, but in both cases they just were. One of them was a really nice model, but a sort of an iffy box. Another one, an absolutely superb box, but the actual model had like a little bit of touch-up paint on it, on the silver bumper. So I gave them both a miss in the end. But they are out there. They're quite common, so I'm not like fretting over it. Here is Lawrence. He's always got a big range of slightly more modern action figures. Not seen that Elite Hands before from Castle Wolfenstein, I think it was. More train sets than that. It's my friend here. He had didn't have a chance to really have a proper look through, but he did have some Matchbox earlier ones. But I pretty much went through last time. I had a few of him last show at Matford, so he didn't have anything new for me this time round. More loose figures. I'm conscious now that the doors are open, and I'm trying to get these last few stalls filmed as quickly as possible. So apologies if I'm rushing a little bit here. It's not on purpose. I just was rapidly running out of time. Alas, my footage of Welsh Sid stall got a little bit corrupted this time round, but he had some good stuff again. He always does. Some nice cheap catalogues there, and we'll come back to those later on. But it was like a shoebox of old Dinky, Corgi and Matchbox catalogues. I say old, sort of 70s, 80s. Another stall with books, predominantly railway related. And this is Steve Haynes' stall. He was there without his son, I think, today. But once again, a nice stall. I take my time looking around here. I really like that Shazam for 40, the Mego Shazam. Yeah, Time Tunnel toys. Yeah, very good. Pez's and slightly more modern stuff. Yeah, all good stuff. We are quite near the door now, and people are very much coming in, but that's fine. The doors opened, I think, at 10:30. There was the usual steady supply of customers. The queue had stretched right round the side of the building. There was some concern that the weather was so nice, and there's rugby on today as well, on the day of the show, that it might put a few people off, and they end up doing a bit of gardening instead. But I don't know. It seemed busy to me. So, I wasn't complaining. There's a little bit of Welsh Sid stall, so you do get to see a little bit of it. But I tried to film from the other side, and the camera just wasn't working. And lastly, here's my friend Stephen. Bought a few Matchbox toys and die-casts off him in the past. He likes to come along. This is about as far as he travels. But he did suggest us going to Sandown, and my friend Dave and I are very keen to do that, and I'm sure Andy will come along as well. It's a much more of a drive for us, but I think it will be worth it. So Sandown, here we come, I think at some point this year. I'm going to have a look at the dates. But yeah, some nice stuff on this store, always clearly marked and priced. There was a few people I saw walking around actually looking to sell die-casts, and that was quite interesting. That was happening while we were there. And this is Stephen's store. So that's some of his rarities, and also like rare paints and colour schemes and what have you. But yeah, he had a nice selection of just general vintage Corgi stuff anyway. It's stock in trade. And he keeps all his Matchbox cars loose in the trays, and then he can fish out the corresponding boxes. He knows them like the back of his hand. He points out some new stuff to me there while I was there. So yeah, fantastic stuff. Really, really great show this time round, and everyone I spoke to had a good time and have found a decent batch of stuff. So let me show you exactly what I found right now. Okay, so we'll start small and we'll work our way out. So just the one Matchbox from this particular show. So I did look around. They just wasn't really anything there that really tickled my fancy, but I got this one off Jordan from Jordan's Vintage World, and it is a nice one. I got to say, it's number 50 here, which is the kennel truck. And there we are. It's in excellent condition. And it also has the 4 dogs still on the sprue, and that is quite unusual, that one. It's pretty early, this one, so that's 1960s, so I was very pleased to get that particular one. Although I only came back with the one, I was pleased that it was a good one, let's put it that way. So that was my one Matchbox. And I did also pick up, you may remember we saw that box of catalogues. Well, I picked up 4 and they were just £1 each. I picked up an extra one for my friend Dave of this one because he's a James Bond fan. And yeah, I thought £1 each. I'm not going to go wrong there. And really good, and he had duplicates of them all. He had all of these in quantity. So yeah, really, really cool. I'll probably go through these separately. It's a Dinky one. All sort of like mid to late 70s, aren't they? But very cool. For £1. I mean, brilliant. Really, really nice to see these. Another Dinky one here. Nice with the Star Trek cover. Enterprise and the Klingon cruiser. Very, very nice. And another Dinky one here. This one I don't remember actually seeing before. It's got some old rubber bands on, so I might have to have a crack with that one. But this is number 10. It's a little bit earlier. I don't remember this one so well. But yeah, they were just £1 each, which I thought was a pretty good price. Pretty good price for those. Now, the next thing I got, well, we saw it in the video once again. It was this Grange Hill box set. Look at this. It's a slipcase set. Who remembers Grange Hill? If you're of a certain age, there we are, look. And they're all in excellent, excellent condition. If I slide these out, you will see, as I said, you do find that some box sets that generally the books that are inside are in tip-top shape. And there they are. Excellent stuff. And I actually remember reading these as a kid. I was the Grange Hill age when these were getting published. So that's one little lot. Now this one I didn't actually pick up at Shepton, but I did pick it up this week, and it was from my friend Callum. Callum's a big Corgi collector. He likes Corgi farm toys, and I am scheduled to go and film his collection in detail in the next few weeks, so look out for that one on the channel. But yeah, this was a Chipperfield Circus crane, the Scammell Handyman cab, Corgi Major 1144. A very nice window box there. So I'm really, really pleased to get that one. So that one came my way this week, but it wasn't from Shepton. This one, however, this was the one I got from my friend Stephen, and this is a Corgi 1121. This was the very first Chipperfield Circus toy that came out, and this one I thought was in excellent condition. It's got the little inserts in there as well. Obviously I got a little discount off that price. And yeah, I thought that was a really nice one. So both of those are going to be cleaned with one other that I got this week in the dedicated Chipperfield Circus video that I've got coming. And I also picked up one other very, very rare thing, which would only just about fit in. This is also from Callum. This is a shop display banner. It's an original one. You see the little Velcro on the back from when this was on display. And this was for the Chipperfield Circus horse transport, which I do have, this one. Look at that, 18 shillings and sixpence. And quite a nice little shop display banner, that one, which I'm going to sort of flatten out and get possibly framed up. But really, really nice, that one. Now, I did get one other thing at the show, which I must show you. And once again, these are in the video. I just couldn't turn them down. It was 2 of these. So this is the Matchbox carrying case. I actually got 2 of them. And they're both exactly the same. One of them is slightly better than the other. These were £15 each. That is a good price for these. I mean, I did a quick look when I got home, and they tend to sell for about 30. So I feel I've done very well on them. I'm going to give them a bit of a clean because they're plastic vinyl. They can easily clean up. And the great thing about them, they've got the poppers there are intact. They're not rusted at all. The cars that actually came inside these were actually really top quality, but they just weren't boxed. So I decided against buying any of the cars because I just want to, I've only got really room for boxed ones now, but lovely to finally get the carrying case. It's a shame that there was 2 of the same one. So I will have one spare. I'm not going to keep both of them. I'll keep the best looking one for my collection, and I'll move the second one on. Well, there we are. You could say I've had a really good show. I think I have. I really enjoyed it. My friend Dave enjoyed it as well. He got some really nice Lego stuff. Yeah, we were both really, really pleased with what we ended up with. So thanks once again to Bulldog for putting on such a great show. I hope the dealers had a nice busy day, and that if you went to the show, if you had a good time as well. Thanks to everyone once again who came by and said hello. If you've enjoyed today's video, do please give it the thumbs up. Do please hit the subscribe button if you've not already for regular vintage toy fair coverage, and I shall look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye.